Lesson 824, Dilations on a Plane. Dilations with coordinates. In this lesson, we'll describe and apply dilations to polygons on a grid if we know the coordinates of the vertices and the center of dilation. Let's get started. We're on page 77, and our goal today is to describe and apply dilations to polygons on a grid if we know the coordinates of the vertices and the center of dilation. Okay, so having things on a coordinate grid just makes it a lot easier for us to identify where things are. One important use of coordinates is to communicate geometric information precisely. So let's consider a quadrilateral ABCD, in a coordinate plane. And if we want to perform a dilation of ABCD, it requires three vital pieces of information. First of all, we have to know the coordinates of A, B, C, and D. Oops, that's an R. Coordinates, the coordinates of those four vertices. We have to know the coordinates for the center of dilation. And we have to know the scale factor if we want to perform a dilation. Oops. Scale factor of the dilation. And with that information, we can dilate all of those vertices, A, B, C, and D, and then draw the corresponding segments to find the dilation of ABCD. Without the coordinates describing the location of the new points would likely require sharing a picture of the polygon and the center of dilation that way. So we're going to scooch down a little bit here and look at a polygon. We'll call it A, B, C, D, and talk about how it was dilated here. Okay. We'll talk about all three of these things. We're going to start with the coordinates of A, B, C, and D. So looks like our coordinates of A, let's go ahead and practice that, are -4, 0. The coordinates of B are -2. C here is right here at the origin, 0, 0. And D is at +2, +2. So we need the coordinates of the original figure. We've got them right here. Next up, we need the coordinates for that center of dilation. Now, as I'm looking at this, I can tell that that center is right here. But if you're ever not sure where the center of dilation is, but you have the two figures, the pre-image and the image, you can just match up corresponding vertices and draw a line back. Looks like they did not mark point C prime. There it is. So let me just line up C and C prime. And I'm going to line up B and B prime. And you can see that when I line all of those up, it points right back to that center of dilation. So that's how we can find that. And in this case, our center of dilation coordinates are -4, 0, the same as what A was. I'm just going to write that off to the side. So that's one thing we need for our dilation, along with those coordinates from the original figure. We also need the scale factor. For the scale factor, let me just write some things over on this side. We've discussed in previous lessons that all of the measurements on the image have had the same scale factor applied to them. And if we want to find that scale factor, we need a measurement from the image, and a corresponding measurement from the pre-image, and we'll divide those. So that's a division bar right there. So let's go ahead and find some measurement that's related to the image and a measurement that's related to the pre-image. I am a great big fan of straight measurements, and I see that as we dilated C to C prime, that goes right along a nice easy place to measure. So I'm going to measure from the center of dilation to the image, C prime, and get that measurement. It looks like that distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's my image measurement, and I'm going to divide that by a measurement from the pre-image that corresponds to that. So now I'm going to measure from that center of dilation to the pre-image, and it looks like that distance is 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2, so that's our scale factor. And there we are. So we found the center of dilation, we have our scale factor, and we have the coordinates of the original, the pre-image. So how are coordinates useful when describing and drawing dilations? Well, they mentioned it up above, but it helps us to give exact locations of two things, really. The pre-image, we can give coordinates for all the vertices, and the center of dilation. We can do dilations on, just out in space with no grid, but it's just a lot easier to do measurements if you have some coordinates. All right, enjoy doing the homework tonight.